Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, we are having those signs of weakness in Bitcoin, as you can see. We were looking at this yesterday, getting back down to this horizontal. It did have a nice bounce off it initially, but that was pretty swiftly rejected, and we are now operating back below pretty much call it $45,000 level. So clearly not looking like the most bullish structure we've got going on here. It does lend itself down to a basically a possible test down into this $42,000 level. Obviously this is unless we do get back above and do reverse this downtrend right now, say right now, before obviously moving lower. We could possibly draw in this shorter term time frame a nice horizontal, sorry, not even a horizontal, a nice downward sloping trend line here. So I would suspect if we do break above that, then yes, we can get a bit of recovery in the price of Bitcoin. But whilst ever we are below this and getting rejected from this level, well, realistically, the next stop will be our next major level of support. And yeah, like we spoke about in yesterday's video, it wouldn't be the worst thing to see a nice back test of this, providing it is a back test and we do bounce and continue upwards. Major markets obviously having a bit of a drag on us, as we can see. For the third time of asking, this resistance didn't hold, which is what you would expect. We kind of knew that there was the risk. Obviously, we were going to basically break through, because the more times you test it, the more times you're likely to break it. So we are fully and formally above this, just pulling back into it slightly. But yeah, this is clearly looking potentially bullish, and having a drag on markets. If we do actually look at the stock market, it is having a bit of a pullback here, and it is actually currently, the futures here are sat below this support level. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do just get bought back up in just the buy the dip fashion that always seems to happen in this asset, and we could probably draw in a nice trend line down here that we could potentially bounce off. Obviously, if we lose this trend line, then we are then potentially looking at well, a bigger pullback, probably well, maybe even down to this horizontal here. But first and foremost, we have to suspect that it will bounce, and then yeah, it's just a case of do we then make new highs afterwards. So yeah, lots to be watching at in the traditional markets here with that DXY and the stock markets. But yeah, also Ethereum, as we can see, Ethereum Satoshi pairing still operating underneath this well, old support and new resistance. So yeah, I mean, realistically, if we don't make a move back above, then we've got targets down to the 0.0645 level. The USD ETH pairing as well. Obviously this is not looking so bad, still above this important level. We'll actually extend this along a bit now, but yeah, still above this important level. So yeah, whatever we hold there or thereabouts to at around the 3Ks, it is not looking too bad. Bitcoin dominance did have a pullback initially, but obviously Ethereum aside, which is underperforming at the moment, a lot of other altcoins are doing pretty well. So that has obviously pulled this Bitcoin dominance back down into this support level and potentially below it. But yeah, these other altcoins as opposed to Ethereum that are taking the reins at present against Bitcoin. So yeah, what else do we want to look at? That is pretty much it. We've seen that the stock markets are going to have to make one of their notorious bounces. The DXY is in relative medium-term price discovery, and then Bitcoin pretty much is looking like we are going to potentially backtest this level. So unless we do get a turnaround Thursday and stock markets do make that move up dollar comes down, yeah, I mean, we pretty much just got to expect more short, medium term bearish price action for Bitcoin. Let's see what those stochastics are saying. I mean, yeah, 4 hours still very beaten up down here. So if it does get moving, it can obviously support price, but at the moment it is all the way down there. 10 hour, we'll just wait for this to load up. Sure, I was going to say, surely it has to be pointing down. So, but yeah, 10 hour diving. So at some point this is going to get a bit lower and then turn back up. So that could support price, but obviously where will price action be at that point? Maybe it'll be around 42,000. 12 hours, well, diving, daily coming down, and obviously got all the room to run. Same with 2 days as well, but still up there. 3 days still up there. Then 5 day looking good, and weekly still looking good. Bi-weekly turn back up, and monthly at some point we will hope to get this turn up, but obviously this is a slow moving oscillator, just based on the time frame, that is. So yeah, all in all, like obviously with the weakness, the risk off going on in traditional markets, the downward price action, the stochastics, I mean potential downside. I mean the caveat will be here if we do get an aggressive bounce in stock markets and pull back in the DXY. But yeah, at the moment we're in a bit of a risk off. Obviously it's the taper. The taper talk is the start of a taper tantrum. It's just does the markets just either start to basically not really believe the Fed, or does the Fed just ease up with its rhetoric? But I don't think the Fed's going to ease up with its rhetoric, because whilst ever it can talk and not really crash markets, and then not actually have to do anything, then yeah, that is their Goldilocks scenario. So yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. We're not a financial advisor. Quick video today. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I shall speak to you guys soon.